Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to live stream. Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. And it's my morning live stream that's on weekdays at 10 a.m. in the morning. And on the weekends, it's on at 8 a.m. My other live stream is in the evenings at 7 p.m., 7 days a week. Need to add some light in the background there. See me pretty good. Well, I do this daily, twice a day, this live stream to help people that have CPS cases. Now, what is CPS? I call CPS the Child Protection Agency. It's found in every county and every state. It's also found worldwide, and this is a broadcast around the world. Broadcast around the world. Now, what I call CPS is the Child Protection System. These systems will have various names. Like in California, in the Orange County, which is where I was involved in, it's called the Child Protection Services, CPS. Next door in LA County in California, it's called the Department of Family and Children Services. Yeah. Then in Prescott, Arizona, it's called the Department of Children Services. In Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. So no matter what name they come up with, it all means the same thing. It's a government entity that was enacted by Congress in 1962 to direct the social services to create a group of social workers that protect our children from neglect and abuse. Now, neglect can be defined in a lot of ways. One of the common ones is inadequate supervision of your child, not taking them to school, not feeding your child, leaving your child unattended, not bathing the child, not providing clothing or shelter, those kinds of things. Now, abuse can be divided into either physical abuse, sexual abuse, or psychological abuse. Good morning, Chris. I'm glad to hear you're still fighting for your rights. Refresh me, Chris, and tell me where you're from. In fact, that reminds me, I need to put my banner up. Now, before I forget, this is not for legal advice. I'm not an attorney. This is for educational purposes only. To get legal advice, you'd contact my attorney, Vince Davis, by calling at 888-888-6582. 6582. You ask for reception. And tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And when you speak to Mr. Davis, make sure you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. Okay? But what I am, though, I'm very knowledgeable about CPS. I'm a loving father. I've been married. I'm 43 years of marriage experience, and I've helped raise 6 children. and have fought for 15 years with CPS. This marks my 16th year of fighting them, and I'm still fighting them. I'm still fighting them. It seems like it never goes away. But I'm on here twice a day trying to help you all with your case, giving examples and so forth, those kinds of things. Okay. Tomorrow, my schedule is going to be different tomorrow. I'm going to come on at 6 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning, Pacific Standard Time. I normally come on at 10, but I'll be on at 6. Then in the evening, I'm going to come on at 4 o'clock instead of 7 p.m. I'll be on at 4 o'clock. So those are only two changes. And then the following Friday, I'll be coming on at 4 o'clock. But I'll keep you reminding and keep telling you when I'm available, when I'm not available. Now we had Chris come in this morning, and I can't remember where Chris is from. If Chris could tell me, that would be great. If Chris could tell me, that would be great. Hmm. Let me catch up with Chris since he's talking right now. Look at the banner I put up there. That's how you text messages. Oh, he's from Florida. Okay. Welcome, Chris. Lee County in Florida. And Chris says, my 6-year old never had her father in her life till this case began 6 months ago. I've literally done everything they've told me to do and continue to stall me while pushing reunification towards him. This is the biological father, I assume, Chris. And I've had so many lawyers and yet nothing. We're originally from Missouri. I'm just visiting Florida. When the case began, I asked for an ICPC, but they refused to do it. Now, for all of you listeners, it's the Interstate Compact for Placement of Children. It's a government entity, a third party entity. It's not a government entity, it's a private entity that helps with the safety of children transported from one state to one state. I don't know why they refuse it. You live in Florida. Well, we're just visiting there when the case started. Oh boy. Now I remember. And they have us staying there because of the abandoned fathers now in the picture, even though we've been trying to get back to Missouri, our home state. Okay. Yes, it is. I have custody order in Missouri that the father never complied with. He's 20,000 behind in support. Okay. So why is he suddenly involved in the picture? Were you married to him? Did you have a divorce decree? I can't remember. Were you married to him? Did you have a divorce decree? What were the grounds? Chris. Yes, they're going to reach out to the parents, the biological parents. Now, were you married at the time this case was taking place? Or is it just you guys are just the parents biological and not by marriage? Hmm. Emotionally stated 3 times he wanted nothing to do with us. So I'm sure they would give him some leeway. And no, never married. Well, did you ever have a custody um, set up so that you have complete custody of your child? He had another child while I was pregnant. So my daughter has a 5-year-old half sibling now. And CPS states they're building a bond between siblings and fathers. So IPC is not in their favoring. Well, why are they trying to build a bond with your father if it was abandoned? It's not making sense to me, Chris. CPS is making it look like placing her with the father's best when I raised her whole life. She was a wonderful, smart girl. They also rolled her into school without notifying me. I'm sidelined. Well, did you lose your education rights or your medical rights? Yes, the custody in Mississippi in 2020 that he has never complied or follow because they'll get more funding and grants. Well, yeah, I think the reason why the father's involved is that they will pay him some money. He's looking at the money end of pictures. If you have the custody that you never complied with or follow, then what is your final custody order? What did the courts finally do? And why has it taken 5 years to resolve this? Why has it taken 5 years to resolve this? If you have papers that tell you have sole custody and he's not involved, you need to show that to CPS. Now, if it took place in Missouri, you got to fight in Missouri. You can't fight it in Florida. And the only reason why you interstate transfer a child is if they need special needs. Like maybe Missouri doesn't have the special needs your daughter needs. And so that's why they have to do an ICPC to another state. But what you need to do, and I know you're not going to like this, you need to go back to Missouri and fight it. You got to fight it. Because he is only in there for the money. He's only in there for the money. He's not there. If he wasn't involved, didn't want to comply, you need to bring all that up to the courts. You need to show that to the courts, to the judge. And your attorney's got to present it there, Chris. Wait a minute. Missouri says it's been initiated in Florida for 3 months. Who initiated what in Florida? I'm totally confused. You said your case was in Missouri and your child, there's some problems with your child, but you have custody of your son. Did the father try to come to Florida and claim that he's the father and open up a new case in Florida? Florida CPS has no jurisdiction over Missouri CPS. I'm confused. How's the case initiated in Florida if you weren't living there? If you're in Missouri, I'm totally confused. I think you need to start from the very beginning to me so that I can help you. So I can help you, Chris. Now, besides texting a message from me, you can also be a guest on my live stream. Look at the banner on my live stream and see how that works. When you said we were visiting, accepting the cold weather. Okay, I know it's cold in Missouri, but you have court papers that says you have custody in Missouri. So why is the CPS in Florida involved? Why is the CPS in Florida involved? Okay, you established paternity, but did you have full custody of your child in Missouri? Now, to be a guest, just follow the banner. I have 14 live streams. Just send me an email that you want to be on Bob's Monday morning show or my evening show. It's just, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Friday night, Wednesday morning. You just pick all those times, email it to me. I'll contact my producer, Grace, who will send you a link that you copy and paste in your browser, and you'll be on an application called StreamYard. It uses YouTube for transmitting what we're talking about. But StreamYard is a really good software program that lays out the room and lets me do a lot of things I'm doing here. They don't care in Florida. Florida is involved because the Uber driver dropped us off in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't have a phone So I waved down the police. They called CPS. Okay. So you're visiting Florida and CPS opened it up in Florida. Well, then you need to take your custody paperwork and show it to the Florida. You don't have to worry about an ICPC. If the child's in Florida, who's the child with when the child's not visiting you? Who's the child with when not visiting you? Well, they're going to reach out to the biological parents. If you showed them the court order, they would have reached out to him. Okay, so the child's with your mom. That is good. That's good. All the family members in Missouri, that is our home state. But Florida doesn't care. They're saying that my daughter has now developed a strong bond with the father and siblings. They want my daughter in Florida. Now, how did the father get involved? You haven't explained that one. The father would still not be involved today if he wasn't for Diaz reaching out. Well, they reach out to the both parents. CPS has used false tactics and statements with no evidence stating I've been in a sober home that was discarded from in 2024. That is a lie. I never even been in a sober home. What is a sober home? I guess it's a home for people that have alcohol problems. Well, I don't know if you used a court appointed attorney, but it looks to me, how did the father? Oh, I wish you could call in. It gets very frustrating because I get bits and pieces and I can't do your service right, Chris. I want to help you. I want to help you. Let me put my number up right now so that you can call in. Chris, can you call me in at 626-698-0990? Please call me, Chris, so I can help you. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Good morning. This is Reach the Live Stream with Bob Pace, who I have the pleasure of talking to.
Hi, Bob. This is Christina.
Okay, you're Chris from Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you were in Florida when CPS got involved. Now, did you have the paperwork
Yes.
with you that shows you have custody of your daughter when that happened?
I told them I had custody of her.
Did you have the paperwork to show them?
No, I didn't bring that with me. I mean, I didn't expect anything, like this to
Okay.
even
That
come
is
up.
one of the most important documents you have anytime you leave your home when you're with your daughter, because you get stopped. That right there will show you have custody, and they won't do what you did through there. By you not presenting that, they're going to drag it out, and they want to make money. They make money by dragging your husband in, and he's going to get money too because they're probably paying him to see his daughter.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Why, I know that's what they're doing. They're dragging it out. And so what's happened is that, how did he come to Florida? What was he doing in Florida?
He was born and raised there, and that's where she was, made, but she was popped out in Missouri because I had no family or friends there in Florida at that time, and he said, it's not my child.
So when did you go back to Florida? I mean, why did you go back to Florida if your family is in Missouri?
Because we had a winter storm coming last year, and I figured, well, my daughter's not in kindergarten yet, so I'm going to take this time and just relax and spend time with her there in the sunshine, and that's what I did. And then I did a really bad mistake and took an Uber home after the beach, and I threw up in the Uber.
Yeah.
And then they let us out, and I didn't have my phone was dead, and I didn't know what to do. So I'm just sitting there with my daughter, holding her hand right next to me, and I saw some lights, and I waved them down, and I said to my daughter, they're going to help us. We'll take us home. So they came, and then they reached out to DCF, and then DCF decided to follow them to my house that we were staying at an Airbnb.
Okay. And did you try to explain to him about what happened in the Uber and how you threw up?
Yeah, but then I threw up in the police car as well, and so I think that kind of made them upset.
Well, it shouldn't make them upset because you can be emotional distraught by throwing up there. First of all, the police have no connection with CPS. Now, I call it the Child Protection System. I know you're calling it a different name, but it's all the same. So the police got a hold of CPS, and they in turn interviewed you. You weren't supposed to talk to them, but you did, huh?
Yeah, they tried to come into the Airbnb, and I knew that wasn't my house. So I said, hey, you guys need a warrant to be in here. And all I wanted to do was go to bed. And they said, well, if you think we need a warrant to be in here, then we'll be back tomorrow with a court order to get your daughter. And I said, like hell you will. I got a custody order in Missouri. So yes,
but you didn't produce the custody order to them. See, all you have to do is say, here's my custody order for my child.
Right. So they said that she was in immediate danger, that I've been neglecting.
Well, they're calling you neglect because you threw up and you had to get the police to help you get home. It's terrible. They're looking at the cash dollar. They're getting money for that child from the county. And the reason why they got a hold of the father is because they always get a hold of both parents. That court order that you had from Missouri, where is that court order?
The court order was established in 2020.
I know, but where is it?
And it gives me, where is it? It's on my phone. It's on my emails. It's given to all these attorneys that I've been hiring left and right. But again, the CPS in Florida says it doesn't matter in a dependency case. Your
they're blowing smoke. That is sad. That is so sad. Um,
They said the care that I've given my daughter before this incident, they're not looking at. They don't care. Like, I've been her sole provider her whole life. And they said it doesn't matter. She's establishing a very strong bond with her father and her siblings. And the sad part is it's a totally different environment than she's ever been in. You know, it's garbage, it's trashy, it's smelly, and he has overnight for the weekend, and I haven't even made it to overnight yet. It's sad because I've been her primary caregiver.
yeah.
But again, they're finding anything they can use. Like last week, they said, "Oh, well, it looks like your UA was dilute. So we're going to have you go take another one in the morning." I said, "Okay, that's fine." I went to take another one, and they're like, "Well, this one isn't dilute." So now they're thinking that I'm trying to tamper with my pee, even though people watch me pee, and they're using that against me. Okay. Like, where are my rights here?
Well,
isn't there like a
what kind of
14th Amendment?
attorney? Well, what kind of attorney are you using?
I have an attorney based in Florida, and
No. What kind of attorney is he a court appointed, or is he one you hired?
No.
That okay, he's hired. Is his background in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law?
His is trial and family. Those lawyers, dependency lawyers, they want like $500 just for a consultation. And I mean, my family is so out of money now, and we're hurting because it's like the more money we keep throwing out, the more excuses DCF or CPS can use to keep this prolonged. And then 6 months is going to be October 28th, and the case started April 28th. So now, since 6 months, they can try to find jurisdiction now and keep my daughter in Florida, correct?
Well, they can, but the problem being is that have your educational and medical rights been terminated?
No.
All right. So why did they put your child in a public school if you didn't want her in a public school?
They said in the dependency case, Children's Network, or I'm sorry, not CPS can help the father enroll her into school, but I didn't know anything of it. Like, I was planning on her to go to school in Missouri, and I didn't know anything of it. And we only found out because my mom's the supervisor of his visits at that time, and he told my mom.
Is your mom siding with the children's father?
No, she's cooperating with
Okay, all right. Why didn't she tell CPS that you have custody of your child and that the father did not want anything to do with the child? He just recently showed up in her life.
Yep, she's told him that. Even my attorney has told the judge multiple times all of this.
And what is the judge doing?
They're not looking at it. They're not looking at it. They said, unfortunately that was before this time, and the $20,000 in errors that he owes, that doesn't matter. He's never reached out and wanted anything to do with us. That doesn't matter. What only matters
you can go to you can go and get a lien against him real easily on his money that he owes you.
A lien?
Yes, you can lien his wages. You can lien like his paycheck and get the $20,000.
Oh, so there were times where I had to file contempt because it was stopping, coming in, stopping.
Right.
And since this dependency case, he has made consecutive payments this whole time, every week.
Oh, he's been.
Yeah. But he's still behind, of course, because it's hard to catch up to the errors. But so he's showing that he's paying every week. So that's good on his part. I mean, everything, I believe the CPS is in some kind of cahoots with the system and him. Because initially now. You want to make sure she's safe. So with that being said, I believe CPS probably said, hey, look, if you don't step in and have something to do and get to meet your daughter, then we're going to charge you with abandonment. And he don't want that on his record. So he's like, okay, I'll give it a go. And now he actually got the opportunity to meet my daughter, and my daughter's great. I mean, anybody would love her. She's smart, and she's so, like, intelligent, and I've raised her. I spent time with her. She is the way she is because I don't want to say 100% is me. I know God is all in this as well. And me and God have raised my daughter, and now my daughter is going to be forced to go to an environment that's something that she's never been in her whole life. I would never put her in an environment like that. But CPS, again, is saying it's the best interest for her to go live. It's ridiculous. And my family, they're so stressed out. They can't sleep. They can't eat. They're arguing every day back and forth because we feel like we're just standing here.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, if I'm in Missouri, can I do anything with the Missouri court if I go down there? And would they even want to help me, or would they be like, well, guess what? We already said that since it's already 3 months in, when they decided to set up a hearing with Florida, or Florida set a hearing with Missouri to see who wanted jurisdiction, and Missouri said, well, because the case is already 3 months in and her parenting classes and everything is there, I'll just keep it there until it's all closed.
Well, the mistake was getting the Florida. You should have it's a domino effect on you. It's not fair. I know that Bartley from Montana is listening in. She has a similar case. And so she's trying to help. Hi, CJ Dunbar. You've been in here before. And he says that's what they did to me, she's saying. Yes, CPS does violate. And Bartley...
I've never sheltered her from her dad. I've always sent birthday invitations. I sent sonograms of her in my belly to him. You know, I've tried to reach out to him, and all I got was hostile or blocking from everything. So, again, you know, they're making me seem like the bad guy here.
Well, they are, because they know that they can. For instance, Florida has a gift. The child wasn't born in Florida. Wait, was the child born in Florida?
She was made in Florida. She was born in
okay. I'm all right. The child wasn't born in Florida. So CPS has got a gift of $20,000 a month from the county by taking over your child. Now, they get a further gift because your mother's taking care of the child. But now the biological father is coming to the picture, and he's trying to make himself look like a goody two-shoe. And that's wrong. That's wrong. You can't be a part-time father. You're either in and altogether a full-time father or not a father at all. What? So you showed the court. You showed the court. You're right. You showed the court that you have this paperwork that says that you have custody of your child, right?
Yes.
And when they
I've even sent it to the judge too. I even went up there and
did the attorney ever take it out and look at it? Did the attorney ever take it out and look at it? I mean, not the attorney, the judge.
Well aware. He's so over his head. He said, "I'm so done with these people." I mean, he's probably around your age, and he's just like, he doesn't know what to think. He's never had a county treat somebody like this before. And he fights and he argues and he argues. And I mean, I think from from the day one when I said you needed a warrant to come in here is what pissed them off. Excuse my language.
Well,
and since then, they've used anything they can.
Yeah.
The news won't even take me. The news doesn't want anything about CPS on their news. I guess it could violate their news station. I don't know.
They won't do that. That's not good.
So my mom she's stayed all she can stay in Florida. She has a mortgage. She has a home, a nice home in Missouri that's just sitting there.
Well, what happens if your mom? What happens if your mom pulls out?
Exactly. So she doesn't. She wants to leave, and she's ready to leave. And they have stated if she's ready to go, she can go. They will place the child with the father.
Does the father have a home?
Like 4 overnight.
Does the father have a home?
He has a duplex with his wife, and the wife is the one that, when I was pregnant, he was out messing around with another person, and I was alone, and the whole time. And then I find out on my daughter's first birthday that there's a 6-month-old by them. So they have, 2 incomes. They can afford a place that's $1,200 a month, but it's like a little shack. And then he also has another daughter by another lady, and this daughter's 12, and that was his first daughter.
Okay.
So he has 3 different girls by 3 different ladies.
Wow. Where's the 12-year-old staying?
She's 50-50. Like, she stays every other weekend with the father and his wife, and then the other weekend she's with her mom.
Oh, okay.
But it's just not, they let the kids run around, do whatever they want. They don't show them any attention. There's like extension cords everywhere. There's 4 cats and a lizard, and cat sees hair everywhere, and comes home, and so I'm allowed to see her at my mom's rental as long as my mom's there. And she's starving when they drop her off, and I'm like, did you not eat? And she's like, I said, you got to tell them when you're hungry. I said, do you not feel comfortable telling them? She's not even at that comfortability that they keep expressing. Oh, she's building this great bond. Like, you can't do that to a 6-year-old when she hasn't even known this person. They forced him on her, and I'm fine with it. Whatever, I wanted her to meet her dad. I always have. But just because it's dependency case and just because you're offering him something out of it, that's not fair to her. She's not a child. She's a child.
Yeah, no,
She's a great child.
Yeah. Well, what does your attorney say?
My attorney is just filed another motion that says emergency to place to get me reunified and to have overnight with my daughter. But that's not to November 14th. I asked him if we could do it sooner, and he said there's no way they won't give it to him any sooner. But then we have an MDT meeting with the CPS people on Tuesday, October 28th, and that is probably going to give me overnight and then reunify him. So then they're going to say, oh, she needs 4 overnights before she can be reunified. But they gave me permission to have overnights at my mom's rental for the past 3 weeks, as long as there's no concern. So I've had overnight just at my mom's temporary rental, not at where I'm staying. Then they stalled my home study, and then they said, oh, well, I said, what's the status of my home study? Well, now we got to do your background check. I said, what? Why didn't we do this before the home study? I didn't even know I needed to do a background check. I thought you pulled her from me because you already looked at my background. So then I have to
Don't think that way. Don't think that way. Does your attorney have a game plan?
I mean, I don't know. His game plan is this motion that he filed today. I reached out to senators in Florida, legislators, the governor. Don't ever reach out to the governor because all he does is call CPS and say, "Oh, we got a complaint about you." So then CPS calls me and says, "Oh, it looks like you filed a complaint with the governor. Let's talk about it." So then I've stalled even longer. I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, you need to follow the advice of your attorney. Is your attorney still says there's a case or what?
Yeah, he said he's fighting it, and we're fighting it. But I don't know. They don't even like my attorney. They said that my attorney is very combative and argumentative, and they told me to get a new attorney. But this is my third attorney.
Well, what do you mean third attorney? I mean, you're hiring these attorneys.
Right. And they either want more and more and more money, so I had to get another one.
You should only have to get one attorney. You didn't research the attorney's background long enough. Remember, you got to have an attorney that has fought CPS cases and won them back. He has to be, my attorney I have has 40 years fighting CPS. He's a trial attorney, and he can also do civil lawsuits.
So he doesn't have anything with dependency under his background. But
that's
I can text him, I can call him, I can email him.
That's where your problem is. You should have not gotten that attorney. You should get an attorney that has juvenile law, family law, and dependency law.
Would you recommend me getting new counsel now at 6 months or?
Well, what is this counsel doing right now for you? What are they doing?
They filed a motion is basically what the staffing is going to be doing on the 28th, which my attorney isn't. They don't want my attorney as the staffing. He's filed multiple motions, and we've agreed to do this motion and that motion, but I've been denied every freaking single motion. Filed an ICPC motion to get my daughter placed back to her home state.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judge goes, "Well, I don't really know the background on that, so if you guys want to compel it, you can." Then we compelled it. And then children, DCF comes to the table and starts saying these laws that are not even laws of the ICPC, and the judge agrees with them. So now, as time progressed, now they're saying that the daughter's developed even more of a bond, and now she's already enrolled in school. So they're not wanting to move her to Missouri, where she spent her whole life with my family, with her family. The only person she has in Florida is this abandoned father and a half sibling and his wife. But his family is not even close by. So how do they do that? When her grandma's here, her grandma's here, her uncles are here, her aunt is in. When I say here, I'm talking about Missouri. It's just, it's a headache.
Yes. It's the worst nightmare you go through. Well, you're going to have to call me more often. We're going to help you every day on the show. I'll be with you all week long, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it takes. I'll help you doing baby steps. The first thing you got to have is a heart-to-heart talk with your attorney you hired. You tell him, if you don't perform, I'll sue you and charge for negligence.
Oh, goodness. Okay. And I should ask him, do you have a game plan? What's our game plan?
Yeah, what is your game plan? You want your child, you give them the money, and now you need to know the game plan. And so I guess Putin's game plan is to overthrow Ukraine.
Okay. Okay. Well, Bob Pace, I really appreciate you talking to me this morning. I'm going to definitely get a hold of my attorney.
Yeah, that's where you need to go there. And you need to make sure that your attorney has all that necessary paperwork. And also, do you have any mud you could sling on the biological father?
Nothing that I haven't told you. I mean,
well, have you told the court? Not necessarily telling me, but you need to tell the court.
I've filed text messages. I filed, me reaching out to him, showing him pictures of her growing up, and then his wife at that coming back saying, she may be his blood, but she'll never be a sister to our children, and we don't want anything to do with you guys. Like things like that. And again, I filed 3 contempt orders already in Florida because the money just stopped coming in. And it's not easy raising a child on your own. I mean, they're very expensive. But I did what I had to do, so they're aware of that. Yes, that's his number, 626-698-0990.
Yeah.
You just wrote down your phone number.
That is my phone number. So you can call me again tonight and we can talk further because I do have to wrap up the show. It's almost 11 o'clock and my show is going to be over. But we can work on this.
Okay.
We can work on this, Chris. But you need to talk to me. If it takes all week long, twice a day, I'll work with you. All right. So I want to thank you, Chris, for calling in. Chris has very complicated.
Thank you for answering.
Yeah, Chris has a complicated case, to y'all listeners. Her home is Missouri.
Thank you for all the support.
She had a child conceived in Florida. Her and her partner weren't getting along, and so he was out there seeing other girls and having other girl babies too. So that's not a healthy relationship. And so she did a custody suit in 2020. She got custody of the child. Her mistake was that when she went to Florida, because the weather was so cold in Missouri, that her phone died and so forth, and she had some illness that came into play there, but they thought she wasn't able to take care of her child. That's why they took her into CPS. But CPS is corrupt right there in Florida. So I'm sorry to hear that. But anyway, her husband, who's not been a part of her daughter's life, is suddenly now apart. And he's behind in child support and everything else. I shouldn't say husband, I said the biological father. Anyway, we have to be very professional and fight for the judge that you want family reunification. You want it with your daughter and you. It's very, very, very important. So, anyway, thank you, Chris, for calling in. Now, Lisa Bartley from Montana has a terrible case too, and she's fighting there, but I've helped her. I think she will tell you that I have helped her there. And CJ, I forgot where you're from, CJ. But I know you've been in before, CJ. And then we have Chris, who started off. And Chris is from Florida. So that's all my callers tonight. There'll be, I'm going to take my phone number down and put the Department of Government Efficiency, which short is called DOGE. There's a website. Go and check them out. There's also 2 phone numbers, area code 202 and 202 is the White House. Also, if you want to send something, there's the email. Now, you should first try to work it out at the county. If the county doesn't work out and you've talked to a supervisor and a manager, talk to the director. If that still doesn't work out, then you're going to have to escalate it. So it goes from the county to the state. and you have to do appeal in the state. Um, so the federal is when you get in touch with Doge. Now, there'll be a brief video at the end of my live stream I want you all to watch. But most important, don't forget to fight for your children. It's really important. My prayers go out to Chris and to Bartley, to CJ, Dunbar, and to Barclay 54, and CJ, and Chris. So anyway, don't fret. I'll be on again. I'm on twice a day. Remember, this Friday, not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, I'll be on at 4 o'clock in the evening for the evening podcast. And then in the Friday morning, I'll be on at 6 a.m. for our morning podcast. I have to be in court on Friday. Okay, so I want to thank you all. Please do not forget to fight for your child, and I will see you then tonight. This is Bob Pace telling you to have a great day.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.